Hello, Transformers fans. Welcome to part 2 of the Transform Dreamwave TCW-01. And if you ended up watching part 1, we got all the pieces on our Bruticus. And yes, I do have his limbs off of him right now. The major transformation for him is actually with Onslaught. So first thing I should say is apparently due to some confusion I had with the instructions, I did end up putting these leg pieces on in reverse, and as you can see, the slots for the tabs on the crotch plate, which I had originally thought and originally did not fit into the slots, are actually pegged in. Which I am quite surprised about that, because I had turned the pieces around and they did not fit the first couple of times. And then all of a sudden they decided they were going to fit. So, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get Onslaught here into robot mode, show you how to do that, and then very quickly get him into his alt mode or vehicle mode. So, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to split the new chest piece, in which you just split it straight. You want to pull on it sideways, not straight out, because you will break these tabs that hold this together. Okay, so after this, you just flip these out and around. Like so. You take these pieces at the side, lift them up on both sides, and untab from the legs, like so. And you're going to want to be careful pulling this piece out from underneath these Gatling guns here, so as not to get this crotch piece accidentally pulled out. And then you're going to want to flip these pieces in and then flip these straight up. And then you're going to want to lift that up and out of the way. Okay. And then we come over to this side, which this side would be the Bruticus side. And then you're going to want to turn these so that way the molded detailing in the leg and the wires is facing the correct side, and the tabs ended up undoing themselves. But you want to rotate at this hinge right here, or this mushroom peg, so that way that lines up. And let's just get all this back into place. We'll see that way. Still having issues with this, and I'm probably always going to, but as long as I leave him in combine mode, this piece will stay right where he's supposed to. Okay. Make sure that's facing out. Flip the toe down. Flip the heel spur down, and then do the same thing. Luckily, I don't have to worry about this side, because this side always stays in place. Okay, and you are gonna want to make sure that you pop his hips forward one click, and I will show you why. Okay, next thing you're gonna want to do is flip this back piece up. Just like for regular transformation, make sure the head goes in there. Lift this up, and then you're going to want to detach the post or the slots from the slits in the arm. And you're going to want to leave these arms one click forward to help with clearance. So one click forward. Get all this pushed up. Take care of the shoulder pad. Get the arm down. Or even leave the elbows up, and then you're going to want to rotate this whole thing. And then, because of this is why you need to leave the arms forward one click. Is you need clearance to move those, so that way you can get, I mean, there might still be a little bit of a clearance issue, but you got to get all this around these little wings right here, so that way that backpack will sit flush. And then you take his head out, close that panel back up, and if you see what I'm seeing, this is why you need to have the hips one click forward, is because right there at the knees, the new thigh pieces, they sit unlevel, and it actually causes the knee joint to be bent a couple of extra degrees. So as you can see, there's the bend there at the knee, and we compensate by putting the hips forward one click, and he is standing straight, if you notice that. Even though he doesn't look like he's standing straight, he is standing straight. Yes, he is slouching a little bit, and partly probably because that one knee has come undone. But you put them more than one click. Actually, that is actually straight back. See? That's with the hips straight. Look at that. He bends backwards. Okay. So, with that, and then you can put his weapons in his hands. Yeah, he does lurch forward a little bit. And then that does come out quite a bit more than it did before. Okay, and now for vehicle mode. So just flip that up, flip that up, flip that up. Okay, and then you put his head back down. Make sure that's tabbed in properly. And don't turn these beforehand, because it might help pop these wings or the new chest plate out. So you rotate as you're turning, so as to avoid that whole thing. Alright, peg all that back into place as usual. Okay, now here is one of the issues right here. Okay, is with this. Well, okay, well, other than, you know, that normal. Okay, so, you pop these out, and these will not actually sit flush to the leg. You want to make sure that this piece is actually sitting even from front to back, and then you rotate it this mushroom peg, and then you collapse the leg. And as I was saying, this is not going to sit flush. Part of this is going to sit out. Yeah, okay. So pop that out of there, and then we rotate that so that way that is even front to back, and then we collapse the leg in. Okay, and then we just put all this together, just peg all this together. Alright, and then once you have that, you can put these wings down the rest of the way, and then take these pieces and then slide them downwards at an angle. And then you take the blasters, and then these are going to peg into the sides right here. And it is a little bit of a tight fit. After a few times of doing this, they'll probably loosen up a little, hopefully. So far, mine haven't. And I actually have to have I actually have to put the instructions down so that way I can show this. Even with those legs not sitting flush, if you can see this. Well, I did have it rolling. Yeah, see, there we go. It rolls okay, with the kit on here. But if these pieces aren't pushed in all the way, it tends to stick. As you can see, the real wheels are moving along with this. Actually, both of these ones on this side are moving. It's just this one's not catching all that great. The back one is, this one isn't. So, there we have that. And then now what I am going to show you is the transformation on the hands and feet, in which the feet have multiple different ways that you can actually use these as weapons. Okay, so what you want to do is unpeg these from the sides, flip this over, put these back in, and then there's your standard 5mm peg. That is one weapon right there. Number 2 is this one right here. This is another one, which this one gets caught up a lot of mine. Really tight. This is a third one, fourth one, yeah, maybe a less count. Maybe that was only the third one. But the next one is you leave it like this with the peg hole up. You put it in, and then you peg it back in this way instead of where it is as the foot. And according to the instructions, this is the weapons cache, or the city version of a blaster emplacement for one of your Titan's Return figures. And it actually shows it in the instructions with a little Titan Master standing right here, aiming in that. So that's kind of cool that they actually incorporated the new toy line with the previous toy line. I think that's kind of cool. And the next thing that I am going to do is show you the hand transformation. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is undo this soft pegging from here, and then you're going to want to start to move these Gatling guns up. They are on a double hinge, and then from here you're going to want to turn this as you're rotating. Okay, you can start to straighten your fingers out right there. Pop that all the way down. Make sure these Gatling guns are all the way back, and then you're gonna turn the thumb all the way around and then move the first thumb joint down in between the slot right here. Like I said, make sure that the fingers are actually straight, and there we go. There is one of your handguns for your what is it, Vortex, Brawl, Onslaught, Swindle, for robot mode, right there. Yes, I'm kind of blanking out on the last name. I'm sure somebody will mention something in the comments if anybody makes any comments. But there it is. You have the 2 Gatlings on the side, and once again you have the Gatlings right in the fingertips, which this is actually a pretty cool looking gun right here. Awesome. And there is another molded in spot for a Repro Labels Decepticon symbol right here in the foot. And that's it. So thanks for watching.